to another episode of Two Jerks in a Pod.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
we're back here, myself and Tebow, with a returning guest who has been requested by the audience and a new guest. So, guests, would you like to introduce yourselves to the people who may not know who you are?
First and foremost, you're a jerk. You don't say guests, you say ladies. First and foremost, jerk number one. He's probably the biggest jerk out of two of us, but ladies,
The biggest.
introduce
Wow.
yourselves.
Yeah, go first.
Are you going first, Frenchie?
I think so. All right. It's nice to be back. Thank you for your request for me to be on the podcast again. Yeah, it's just me, Frenchie, again.
Great. Thank you, Frenchie.
Hmm?
Thank you, Frenchie.
No problem at all.
Lady number two.
Lady number two. I am Tia Henny. Hi, Frenchie.
Thank you.
And it's been a long time coming for me to be on here. So I'm sorry, my dog won't stop crying. It's so annoying. Okay.
All right, we're going to get into it. Today's topics: dating while black, the do's and don'ts, sex, hookups, men, women, basically everything under the umbrella of dating.
And the struggles and woes that come along with it.
And the
Yeah.
successes, I guess.
All right.
Is
Let's get
anybody
into
here
it.
married?
Is anybody here married? First and foremost.
No.
No rings? Anybody in a relationship?
Do entanglements count?
Uh,
Actually, you know what? Nah, I'm untangled.
But with that said, I guess none of us have really been that successful when it comes to dating. Unless all of us here, or any of us here, are dating with the intentions of never getting married.
Mm.
However, if marriage is the ultimate goal, then yes, none of us have been that successful.
Fair enough. I actually don't think I will get married. Sorry, let's just cut the chase. I don't think so. At this point on, at my age, and I think the dating pool as well does not bring me the desire to get married. I think maybe if I go back in the country or back in more like at home, probably more chances, but I don't think that would happen in Toronto.
Mm,
And okay, so I hear this a lot. This whole Toronto issue, like Toronto seems to be the worst dating city in the world. Everywhere I go, everyone says the dating pool in Toronto is terrible. Primary thing I hear is, the mandem in Toronto are like the worst of the worst. So ladies, I need to hear this. Frenchies, I mean, kick it off. Since you said, you know what, the dating pool seems terrible. What is terrible about the dating pool? What's so bad about it?
I think people in Toronto are ungenuine, first of all. They're trying to pretend to be something. I got a guy who was living in a basement with his 6 kids and sharing a house with his sister, and then he has the big Jaguar and he's like, look at my car. I'm like, sir, like, people are trying to pretend and act like they have their shit together so much that it's just like a new age. Like, it's not real actually. And I found out that it's a constant thing with either men and female in Toronto.
I have a question, if you don't mind. If that particular gentleman was completely upfront with you about his situation, would you have been willing to work with him then?
No, he was honest from the beginning. I didn't want it. Why would I put myself into a situation like this?
Oh, I'm asking because you said he wasn't genuine. So I'm saying like,
Okay, well, in this case, he was pretending that he has this all things together. But when you start talking to him and dig a little bit, that's when you find out that he has all this baggage. Let's just say baggage. Don't want to say like the kids, it's one thing, but like when one of your kids is you're already a grandfather and you're 40, like
Whoa, hold on, whoa. Sorry, whoa. Backtrack. You said he's a grandfather?
yeah. And he lives in the basement of his sister.
He's a grandfather at 40.
Yes.
All right. All right. No, I and he's driving a Jag too.
Yes.
I was trying to see if I could help that brother up, but
I know. That's why I had to backtrack for a second. I thought there was saving grace, but when you said grandfather, I'm like, whoa. Okay, and I mean, okay, did he let you know what his circumstances are? Did he like go through like some traumatic something in the last few
I was
years?
not interested from the
Or
beginning.
he just shut down from the beginning?
Yeah, he
Dang.
was trying, but he sounds like a cunt, but physically was not attractive, but he was just trying so hard. And my friend was pushing for me to have a conversation with him. So I was like, okay, let's entertain that. Because we were working all in the same building. So every time we had lunch, he was coming and talk to us. So
Okay, so he had a job. He had a job though.
Yeah, that's good for him.
I mean, okay, so let me ask this. Again, I'm playing devil's advocate right here. Do you feel, or do you think maybe if you had maybe given him a chance, that may have motivated him, maybe right now he doesn't feel like he has like, that whole purpose yet. He needs a woman to help him find it, and you maybe could have helped him along or not?
And be one of the 6 other women? Because remember, like he had kids with so many different women. No, thank you. No.
I think homie was doomed for the jump because
yes.
You just said that he wasn't that attractive, and then
okay.
you compound that with his situation. So it's like you tried to give him a chance knowing that he's not that attractive. Then you find out his situation's like, nah, hard pass. So yeah, I get it.
Would it have been different if he was attractive?
No.
Nah.
No.
Okay. Okay, no, I had to ask. So I mean, for me personally, no, that's a terrible situation right there. And I think he needs to step up, especially if he's a grandfather. But for me personally, at the end of the day too, I almost feel like women in Toronto don't necessarily give. You have a very small, margin of error with Toronto women. If you slip up, like with the wrong information, or you don't come correct, like, you're not all the total package, it's over for you. There's no turning back. Am I right or wrong?
No, you're right to a certain extent. A lot of women are willing to do the compromise if they did the work on themselves. I know my word, so I know there's certain things I'm not gonna settle for. And it's not a matter of like checking boxes and stuff. It's just, if you already have like 3, 4, 5 kids, I'm not looking to be a third or the second baby mama. Like it's just too much. It just.
So basically, you wouldn't date a guy that has children?
Yes.
Okay.
But
is that yes you would or no?
It depends on how many kids and how many baby mama hits there. Because every single one brings something in the relationship. You can't dismiss those women. And I'm not the type of woman that would just be like, you can talk to them. No, they have to be there.
Okay.
So I'm not willing to share with them, no matter what they have. Okay. Share is a wrong term. Let's say share is the right word. It is.
Okay.
All right. Fair enough.
But it also like depends on other things. Like if you're not Black, I don't want to date you.
I mean, that's personal preference. That's personal preference. Okay.
So there's a few things like that. Like, yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing now. You already mentioned you don't want to get married. So are you dating just for the sake of dating, or is there like, what's the end
I'm
game
not.
then? It's just
I'm
dating
not
for
dating.
fun. Oh,
I'm
you're
not
not
dating.
dating. Oh, sorry. Okay. Okay, my bad. No, I thought I heard you were dating. Okay. So you're not dating. So you're okay. Got it. Got it.
But that brings me to another question. I think the dating and talking stages is very different in Toronto and in Quebec. Because
Oh yeah, it's 0 to 100 in Toronto. What are you talking about?
Ooh, I
here
want to know
dating
why.
is like,
I said I want to know why. Why is it different from Toronto and Quebec?
Good question. Okay.
well, see, here people are dating everybody. They will go on dates, have sex with a lot of different people, and say they're dating. So nobody's exclusive. Everybody's doing their own thing with different people just to get to know each other. But when you're in Quebec and you say you're dating, you're actually exclusive with that person. So like I would say like I'm talking to this person, I'm like, we're like interacting, but like when we're saying in Quebec that we are dating, it's like we are exclusive to get to the marriage point. Here in Toronto, you're dating, you can still fool around until you said you are exclusive.
So can I ask you this question? If you're dating somebody, you're dating with the purpose of getting married. Okay. All right. And you feel that in Toronto, people just date to date.
Yes.
All right.
Because the other person would bring something, they have an agenda. Like I had an ex who literally had, that's terrible on me, but he had no job. He was a singer in the city. Basically, he was dating a lot of different women because all of those women were bringing something for him to increase his career in music. So he was using all those Black women on like
An artist.
yeah.
All right.
He got into real deep.
Which I often do.
Okay.
Which I often do. Because I have a theme when it comes to using people. If you cannot be used by nobody, you're pretty much useless. But
yeah,
from what I gather, it seems like he was using to the point that it became abuse.
Yes, he got exposed for it.
So there you go.
Turns out to be
what you mean?
nightmare, but it was. What was the question?
I was gonna ask how do you get exposed? Like y'all confronted
know
him?
the dirty details.
I want to know everything.
So one of his ex decided to go public and talk about everything he's done to a lot of women, including myself. So because after they broke up, like maybe almost a year after, he was still doing a lot of foolishness, sorry. And he was bringing her name into all of those conversations, even if they had breaking up. So she kept hearing what he was doing to me and like to other women. And then one day she just snapped and she just went on Instagram saying like, this is this guy, this is what he did to her, to this person, he scammed you guys with his GoFundMe and like all of those things. So a lot of women came out, said like, yo, that happens to me as well. 5 years, 10 years ago, last month, I had women reaching out to me, yo, I saw you with him, but I didn't want to like interact, like I didn't want to be close to him, but I wanted to warn you. I was like, this shit, it's unbelievable.
Was this while you were still with him?
Pardon me?
Was this while you're still with him that he got exposed?
No, so he thought I was part of the people who like started to expose him because I blocked him a week before. When I had proof black and white that he was actually lying to me, I blocked him on everything. I didn't say anything. I just, that was enough for me. So I blocked him, and then she exposed him because she heard why I blocked him. And she went on. So he just thought I was one of the initiator. So that was another struggle, another problem. That was a lot.
Damn. Yeah, that's terrible. So here, here's what I'm gonna say. I think Debo's mentioned earlier, or maybe even before the show, that it seems like when you look at social media, it does seem like there's some form of gender war going on in a way. And as men, I will say, yeah, we do have certain things that we contribute to that we should be accountable for. At the same time, I do feel like women as well have things that they should also be accountable for. But my question for you guys, I guess, from different sexes to each other, what would you say is the main thing that you feel dating wise or just relationship wise men need to be more accountable for, that would ideally be suitable for y'all?
That's a good question. I think they just need to know what they want, period. But it works for both sex, obviously. I think people are acting and they don't know what they want. They don't know what type of relationship they want. So that is a main part of why people are cheating. They don't communicate because they don't know what they want. So then it creates lack of honesty and then lack of accountability. Because if you don't know what you want, you can actually say yes or no.
Mm, true. What about you, Tia?
The um the taking accountability thing, I think the number one thing for me is communication, because and communication, that's saying like a lot of things in one. Like if I do something you don't like, you should be able to tell me. If you're feeling like you're bored of our sex life, you should be able to tell me. Or else, you're gonna go cheat and I'm not gonna know. I'm gonna be in bed like this, watching TV, sleeping, and I don't even know what the hell you're doing. So, and then women, we don't know what we want. We are the most annoying, confusing people ever. Because 1 minute we'll feel one way, and then the next, I literally mean like 5 seconds later, we'll feel another way. Like we'll look at you and we'll like you for that 1 minute, but then as soon as you do something like you fart or something, like I'm just like, oh, I don't like you anymore. You get what I'm saying? Like we change so quickly, and if we don't say anything about it, do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. And it's interesting, the points that both of you made, because for me as a man, I think that's exactly what I would say to women as well, is that communication. And when I say communication, I mean like you can't be vague and hold back certain things because you don't want to be judged, but at the same time,
read your mind.
yeah, and at the same time, that whole accountability part of it is that, what, if you want us to call you out for certain things, or at least hold you accountable for, you guys also have to be able to be receptive to it. Because I find a lot of times when we say things or we suggest things, you guys feel like we're judging you, and then the reaction is a little bit, it's not welcoming in a way. If I'm going to be politically correct, it's sometimes it could be a bit aggressive in terms of the reaction. So that it's interesting that we both have the same points, but I guess again, with the whole gender war persona of it, it almost feels like we're fighting to supersede each other instead of kind of just working together and moving on from that, which is
I think when it comes to the gender war, it's really just a loud vocal minority, and they live in echo chambers where they want to hear what they believe. So like they'll go to certain places on social media where people are mimicking exactly what they believe about the opposite sex, and then they just live off in the comment section and make their stupid little memes to fuel the people who agree with them. And then those people are the same people who will repost those memes and be in the comment sections talking shit about the opposite sex.
Mhm.
I really don't think it's the majority of men and black women who go at each other like that. Like I don't walk down the street and just see black women and black men arguing with each other like crazy, like they do on the internet. So I really just feel it's a small, loud vocal minority who love the attention that they seem to get when they cause those arguments.
But that's not only on social media too. You also hear some of that like rhetoric, in real life. Like I'm sure you've had conversations or, I don't want to say arguments, but debates with, different people, and it sounds legit like, they have it out for the opposite sex. So it's like it's not just on social media. I think it exists in our society and within our community. And for whatever reason, I don't, again, we don't hold each other accountable. It's either because we don't want to, or I don't know, we don't care. I don't know what it is, but it's one thing I've always thought about and I'm trying to figure out, but for the life of me, I still can't figure it out because there's so many different fluctuating, you know, things happening and reasons why it could be happening that it's just, I'm at a point where it's like I've almost given up and trying to figure it out. So I don't know how you guys feel about that. Do you guys kind of feel the same way, or do you have a different feeling about it?
I think the word sex kind of comes from that would you might say that I'm pushing, but it comes from the slavery because we've been trained to actually not be for each other. We've been separated from the beginning. Men have been working their ass off, so they were not present in the family. So now, because we're more vocal about it, about all of the race issue and relationship issue, that people are not capable of looking at themselves, but it comes from very far. Like it's not just like men and women decided not to like each other, but Black love is there. It's just it's harder to find because sometimes I saw some white people saying that Black women are angry at Black men. I'm like, you should not even have a say in those.
Absolutely.
So there's a lot of things Black, like you said, like, influencer that just want to be the pick me. So they will trigger those conversations and those angriness, like anger issue towards the other sex just to destroy us, basically. Because if we don't gather together, we won't go anywhere.
Yeah. And that point you made about, a white person making that comment, that's something that's always been in the back of my head. Again, when I see our interaction in the public eye or how we're perceived in the public eye, that's what concerns me, because that other races look at us and they're just like, they start judging. They're like, look at that, black men are just baby daddies and they leave their families. Black women are angry and have attitude. That's why they leave it. Like it creates that perception of us. And I feel like we need to be more aware of it and more accountable to where we got to like stop, people, our own people from, putting out that kind of negative energy. Keep it within our own community so at least we can resolve it, but other people shouldn't be seeing that and making those comments, because we don't do that to other communities. We don't say, oh, look at the Asian women are always yelling at their men or doing whatever, because we don't know what the hell's going on in their community. At the end of the day, they don't show it, but for some reason everyone looks at us and they know, or they perceive this is what's happening. And my question is, why is that perception there?
Sorry, this is my sister. She came in late, but
I know where it's hey, sis.
Hi.
Quick introduction, sis.
Okay, so I concur with her when she was speaking about everything stemming from slavery and things like that, but we must also know that the part where it's like, the part where we're saying like, the systemic thing that they continuously do to us, where they always put us on as we're the entertainment for the world, if that makes sense. Our race is the entertainment for the world. So that's why all the stereotypes, all those things are placed upon us. And what I'm learning is right now it's a grand awakening, and that's grand. Only to say that it's a grand awakening into where we are now realizing that the way that we communicate with each other, the way that we speak,
is now becoming more holistic. We're no longer listening to respond. We're more so now trying to listen to understand. And I don't know, I just came in late, but I was just hearing certain things. And when it's like, okay, they shouldn't have a say so, but that's what the narrative, that's how it was set up. It's been that way from I can't recall when, but I don't know. It's a weird thing to me because I'm like, yo, yeah, we can say that they shouldn't do that, whatever. But what I'm now understanding and trying to gather is the fact that we, as our own race, I don't even care about them anymore. I don't care what they think anymore, because now it's up to us to change our directive and our narrative and everything like that, and to where it doesn't even matter what they say, because now we have to build ourselves up. And we am I saying it right? Is it making sense? Because I was trying to hear what she said.
Absolute sense.
No,
Now
exactly
keep going.
what we're getting at. We can't rely on them to like fix our image, because if up to them, you will never look proper.
They shouldn't be painting our narrative, basically.
Exactly. We should be the ones in charge of our own narratives.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And right now it seems like we're allowing, the narrative to be painted for us, and we're not doing it. Almost feels like, all of us aren't in it to fix it, but a lot of us are aware of it, and we're talking about it. Like you said, it's a topic of conversation, and I think the more we do it, the better it gets. But we definitely, like I said, I feel like for me, I gotta hold people around me accountable who don't see that vision, my own people, and just make sure, they carry themselves in a way that perception is not necessarily there. And I feel like that's what we all kind of have to do as a collective group, and just make sure our, our kids, our, brothers, sisters, whoever, they're walking the right path. So, we have the freedom to create our own narrative.
Like we are hardly shown as a functional family unit. Like we're all, anytime there's a depiction of us, it's usually traumatic or dysfunctional. Like if you look at commercials now, like if you look at commercials now, how often do you see a Black woman and a Black father and a Black mother together with their kids? Like all I'm seeing now is a biracial couples all over the place on commercials, and a bunch of light-skinned babies running around.
Oh wow! Like what? Say that one more time. Wait, what?
If you watch TV now, you hardly see a Black father, a Black mother, and Black kids running around functional. Yeah. Most of the time, you're seeing some type of biracial couple. And then I said light-skinned babies running around.
I'm not light-skinned. She is. But go ahead. What were you gonna say? I just wanted to see something because you're light-skinned and brown. But anyway,
I'm very light-skinned. That's okay.
you for sure. No, I think so I have someone in my ear as well, and I apologize because I wish she were here because she's very informative as well. And what I don't know if she heard the whole thing. It was more so saying that what's being portrayed is not the functioning Black family unit. And I think to myself, it's like more so like what they're doing is, are we going to show you who you are? And if you're Black, you're going to have to become this in order to be considered Black. Like I get docked for so many things, like, oh, you speak this way, or you eat this way, or I don't like red velvet cake. Somebody told me that I ain't Black if I don't like red velvet cake. I'm like, but I don't like it. So that's something that's been put into our psyche to think that we have to be this certain type of way in order to be accepted in our own community, which is a false narrative, of course. But it's up to us, especially our older selves, the elders, to change that narrative for our young folks. But if you pay attention, look at what they're doing with our young people. You have so many talented individuals out there. Now we have a platform to where we have access to social media that will showcase everybody. But here's the kicker. You see so many bright, talented people speaking truth and right knowledge and positivity and or things that we need to uplift our community. Look at what they take and put into our mainstream media for us, for our culture. You know, and it's like, dang, you know, it will sell, but if you promote it the same exact way, it will sell, it will make the same money. But the problem is you don't want it to be that way because you want us to still sit inside this box that you need us to be in so that you can still reign in power, which is now falling because every great kingdom or what did I used to say? Every great empire will fall. And yeah, like all other empires, this too will fall. They can't maintain the same narrative. They're losing. If you're looking at it now, pay attention to them because we have social media. It's across the board. So now, guess what they're doing? They're glitching. Watch how they glitch. They're just spazzing out, doing random asinine things, and it's like, really, wow, they're glitching because they no longer have that control. What happened? What? I'm sorry,
Nah.
I mean, we kind of shifted gears a little bit from dating to some Afrocentricity.
No, but this is dope though. This is dope
though. Honest, because that was mentioned, all of that wraps into it. Because what's happening is, even when it comes to the dating, I'm sorry talking like y'all, shut up in a minute. But what's happening is these people, okay, people just, okay, let me say it right, sorry y'all. But what's happening is it's poor communication. We don't know how to communicate with each other. That's why I mentioned holistic communication. That's a difference. So when we're talking about Black relationships and things like that, it's ideal because, like I said, the false narrative was given to us. The Black woman is supposed to be angry and she's supposed to, you got me messed up, and snapping her fingers and rolling her neck. You know, it's not, that's the idea that that is supposed to be about a Black woman. And then the man is, man, I ain't paying for that. I ain't doing this, that, and the third. So that's what it is. It's lack of communication. It's the false narratives that have been put into our psyches. And that's what's warped. And then we're looking at social media and we're getting ideas. But what's bothering me is the fact that no one has their own idea.
Absolutely. You shouldn't be looking to a lot of social media. I mean, some of it is insightful and informative, but a lot of people should not be looking to certain social media content as how to live their lives.
Yeah, it's destructive. Yeah. It's very, very destructive. Like, you scroll through social media and it's just like, holy smokes, what are you consuming here for your mind at times? Like, there's some good stuff, but at the same time, there's a whole lot of things that shouldn't be there. But communication, I guess, so it's easy to say communication, and I feel like we have it at times, but I think we need to sustain communication and continue it and not let the false narratives,
and other entities inject themselves into our lives, into our way, because they have their cultures, we have our culture, and good luck in God's people, whatever you do. I don't know what you do once you close your door. Yeah. But I'm gonna tell you how my world is gonna go. Yes, we're probably more feisty than the rest, but that's just how we are naturally. We carry the zeal. I'm sorry. Okay. I'm sorry. Somebody's in my ear talking too. So imagine. I'm like, how is she on the Bluetooth and she's on the phone and I'm on the podcast? She's like, yeah, Roger that. Yeah, Roger that.
Affirmative. I'll repeat. Please,
that's some top tier multitasking right there.
Some skills.
Yes.
So
sir.
So
I'm gonna call you. I guess
moving forward with our community and maybe resolving or fixing or even patching up what damage has been done. Do you guys feel communication is the main ingredient or the secret sauce, I would say, to fixing it, or do we need other things in place that would help that communication?
Understanding. Because you can talk as much as you want, but if you're not willing to understand and listen, the other one, it's pointless.
That's what I was going to say. This is true. Because you can speak to someone and you can convey it as best as you can, But if they're not receptive and they're not able to understand what you're saying, it's all in vain.
I'm sorry, let me go kill my dog first.
It's all in vain. But the other thing I think is also imperative as well is self-healing. What is the word? Self-reflection, is that it?
Self-awareness or
Self-awareness, something to that, along those lines.
I think both self-reflection could be part of it too. Yeah.
Right, you have to take time and see, because what people, a lot of time, there are a lot of people who are like that, they can't admit to their wrongs. And they can't see the fault in their own stars versus someone else's. And if they're always throwing stones and hiding hands and they're trying to play victim, then you get into a situation that's toxic. That can be a problem. Oh gosh, you brought her out. Sorry. 6 or 5 seconds. But that can be an issue. Like if you're not fully healed, how can you be great for anyone else? How can you actually have a holistic, and I like to say that word, a holistic conversation or communication with someone if you're not holy?
Healing?
Huh?
Did you mention healing?
Yes.
Okay, so this brings me to a topic that's kind of, what's the word I'm looking for here? Frowned upon in the Black community, at least in the past, and that's going to therapy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've never done it personally, but I'm all for it if somebody wants to go. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of people, especially in the Black community, need to be doing a lot more of it. Because most likely you're not going to heal on your own.
That's true. I can agree.
And chances are you're not qualified to heal yourself.
That's true too.
So you need to go.
But that's not in every situation, because I'll be honest, I myself, I know my caliber as a woman, but then I got into a situation, and I think because of depression, I was dwindling down in life, and it's if I stepped outside of myself to see myself, and I didn't like what I saw. And then I had to say to myself, you know what, this is not you, be better. Because you know who you were, you know where you came from, how you this today, this is not you. And it was a process, don't get me wrong. And I probably should have sat down and spoke to someone as well, because it's probably, a lot of times it's good to speak to someone else who doesn't know you, who can't judge, you know what I'm saying? They're not gonna judge you, but then, find the best solution for you and all those things, whatever. But when I started seeing that, and I noticed that if I'm gonna give this emotion a name, I'm gonna call it this sadness. If I'm gonna give this emotion, if I'm gonna give this emotion a name, I'm gonna call it happiness, because I'm content where I am. I manifest certain things and it comes to pass. And you can see it, it's a process, there is growth. And you can speak to someone, and there are other times when you can't speak to someone. Because I don't know, not everybody's qualified to say anything to you. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but you know what I mean.
No, I think it differs for everybody. Me personally, I don't think I could go to therapy, nor do I think I need to, only because I know who I am as a person, and I've been through many adversities that I figured out, and I found a way to kind of deal with it and heal from it and essentially move on. But it all depends on who you are as a person. If you know yourself, then by all means, do what's right for you. But I don't know if, sitting on a couch and talking to some random person.
It's not for everyone, but there are people who probably never had anyone to ever talk to, so that probably would be a great outlet for them.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So I get that, but I've had people in my corner, and I'm very strong-willed in a lot of ways. So I know me, I'm like, I'm not gonna sit, because I'm gonna be a therapist to the therapist. I'm no, how was your day? What did you? How do you feel? Let me write some stuff down as well. And that's why I probably won't do it.
Okay.
Not in a professional setting, at least.
But Debo, let me know how it goes when you go see a therapist still.
Personally, I'm like you. I don't think I need it. Like, I know myself enough to know, like, if I'm ever feeling depressed, I know how to deal with it and get myself out of that.
Right.
So it's not something that I think I need at this time. But if I ever feel like, this is too much, I need to go do it, I wouldn't be opposed to it. And I feel a lot of people probably should look into it. It's again, like you guys said, it's not for everybody, but
I-
there's a lot of people who probably do need it.
Me.
Who are probably looking like I can't do it because it's gonna be I'm gonna look like a fool going to it.
Right, and see, that's okay. So that goes back to what I was saying beforehand, because of our culture, there are certain things that will that was put into our psyche to make us feel like I will feel like an idiot if I do this or whatever. And it's probably something you very well need. Okay, so my son, he has diverse, his friendships are very diverse, white friends, black, whatever. He has different races of friends. And one of them I always have with me, and he's white and Hispanic mix. And he's white and Mexican mix, I'll say, Caucasian and Mexican mix. And he says, they're in the car with me and I'm driving with these children. They're in middle school. And he said, well, I can wear whatever I want. I can go wear stuff from Walmart. It doesn't matter because I'm Mexican. And my son said, well, I can't. I have to have nice shoes and nice clothes because I'm Black. My eyebrows raised, but that's what society put into their little psyches to think that that is a thing. But to be honest with you, if my son did go to school and did not and dress like his friend, they would pick on him and tease him and say things about him. So it's unfortunate. Huh? What do you say? What are those? Exactly. Because he come to me, Mom, what are those? Boy, shut up and sit down, I'm grown. So, but I understood what he said. And I'm one of those people, I'd rather not my child be bullied because you see how that, transition trickles down into what that can turn into. But all that, comes in full throttle. All that, like he just said, like, I'll feel stupid or I'll feel uncomfortable and somebody will be like, oh, you need a therapist, you should, people gonna clown or roast, whatever the word is, the cool word, I don't know. But it's roast, I'll be learning that from my kids and stuff. They're like, Mom, it's this. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Anyway.
Is Frenchie still here? Where'd she go?
What?
Oh, I'm sorry, I talk a lot. I'm shut up, y'all, I swear. Okay. I'm gonna count to 10. I'm gonna quiet for that long. Go ahead. No.
No. It's a good conversation. Good conversation. All right, you want to shift gears or are we staying on the topic? I think we're probably gonna, recording might stop soon, just to give you guys the heads up.
So what was the other topic?
Debo, what's the playlist? You had the playlist.
Do's and don'ts when it comes to dating. I think we went over some things briefly, but we haven't really
I mean, we definitely covered the do's, I think everything we talked about covered that. Do communicate.
Mm-hmm.
Do hold yourself accountable.
Right.
Do understand where everybody else is coming from, and make sure you self-reflect and taking who you are and what you're doing, and basically do not do everything that you should be doing, if that makes any sense at this point.
but the don'ts, flip them.
Yeah.
I don't even go into detail. I'm just gonna start naming them on the list.
I honestly think the whole main thing is we have to stick to what we say, and it's good to communicate, it's good to talk about it, but we gotta always follow through and live the life kind of thing. Otherwise it's all for nothing.
Yeah.
I guess to add to the list, because somebody brought it up, I think it was Frenchie, about people not knowing what they want, especially Toronto men.
Oh my
Toronto men
God.
are that way? Interesting.
It's true.
They're like that. They don't know what they want. So everybody just out here just flying around like butterflies and dying in 12 days.
I think everyone knows what they want, but people don't want to be judged, so they make up.
I don't think that's the real thing.
Nah? You don't think people know what they want?
No, not at all. They want to say what they want because that's what looks good, because that's what, like you said, quote unquote, social media portrayed. That's what they want.
And society.
And society put that into our psyches to think that way, but that's not what people want for real. You don't know what you want until you actually get it. How about that?
And then you don't want it.
and then after a while, then you don't want it because why? It don't look like what the world said it should be. Oh, okay.
I think to Tebow's point, I think sometimes people do know what they want, but they're afraid to communicate it because they feel they won't get their way.
Oh, back to communication.
Or you're gonna judge them and say, hey, you know, like, why do you want that? Like, who are you to want? Like, you know, it creates a whole conversation they maybe want to avoid. So they just say, you know what, yeah, I'm looking for this, that, and the third, and it matches up with exactly what you said, and it makes, you know, the transition smooth to, you know, exact their agenda whenever the time is right, kind of thing.
Because sometimes a dude might say, I will be in a committed relationship with you.
Did you say guess?
Yes, a dude might say, yes, I will be in a committed relationship with you.
You said, I guess.
And what he really wants to say is, I just want to have sex with you while I can have sex with other people.
Say that. That's the problem, the communication. Say
but that's
that.
where it goes back to, he knows what he wants, the sex, but he knows if he tells
the moment he says it, he's gonna.
He may not, well, it's still a possibility. He may or may not get it.
True.
That's very true.
What he could have done though is say the truth and save himself a lot of heartache, because now you done got somebody's feelings involved, and now it's escalated to a different level. But if you had just been honest in the beginning, you probably have to be going through all this nonsense. Then you have baby fathers on child support, losing their licenses and stuff because they can't pay it, because they can't live, because why the world is still. Let them talk. Oh, sorry. I told you.
But check this though. So now
that's exactly why it's a
slippery slope. I'm sorry.
That's exactly why it's a don't.
But here's what also could happen. He says what he wants. I'm just looking for sex. She said, oh, sure, I'm cool with that too. Like, they enter that relationship, and months later or weeks later, completely changes. She doesn't want it. She wants more, and he says, nah, now he's the worst guy in the world. That's also the flip side. Sorry?
I said to her, who cares? Because here's the thing, you got the truth, you couldn't handle it, that's life, move forward.
I mean, wish it was that easy, because that's not necessarily how it's handled in said situation. Honestly, not all women handle it like that.
Of course, they won't all handle it that way, but this too shall pass like any other time, so you can't hold on to that negativity. If that makes you sad in your life, baby, that's the lesson learned. Move forward. She gonna have to. There's no other choice, because if you don't want you, how you gonna make somebody want you?
Yeah.
You can't do that.
I completely agree. And I tell this to my male friends and female friends, like, just leave it alone. There's no point in, you know,
you're done here.
Arguing, being sad about it. Like, life goes on at the end of the day.
And again, that's exactly why it's a don't, because I would say that some girls would say yes to that situation, knowing that what they actually want is a committed relationship.
But then some men say yes to a committed relationship, know fully well.
Want that? Stop it.
Exactly, like, and both of them are doing the exact opposite of what they actually want.
Holistic communication, straight up and down.
It's back to holistic communication. Like, you just gotta say it and own whatever the outcome is.
Let me give you an idea of holistic communication. It's like, okay, you said something, like, okay, let's say, man, you said something, it made me angry. Then I'm simplifying, of course. Then the woman, holistic communication, I see that I made you angry, but I think that right now, because it's very heated, we may not say things that we mean. I'm just maybe saying it out of anger to be spiteful and hurt each other. So let's calm down, and then we can come together again when we calm down and discuss this later. Kiss, go to bed.
That tequila is strong.
Like the what?
I can't help my face. I can't help it.
Oh my gosh.
On TV. Come on in here.
Oh, that's the other sister.
That's the other sister.
Hey. What's going on? We got a full house.
Yes.
No, but the communication and the way you position it to say, you know, let's come back and talk about it, I think is the way to de-escalate a
Exactly.
situation. And then it gives everybody time to kind of sit back and think, you know what, is it really worth fighting over, or am I just like overreacting? And you could take a step back and, you know, fix
Right.
things as opposed to, yeah.
With everything said tonight, I think the major key we can take away from this episode is that communication is the key.
Absolutely.
And to be like you said, to be more specific, holistic communication.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't hear that. What
He
is
said to be more specific.
But sometimes you can communicate and that can just make shit worse.
And Frenchie also mentioned, along with communication, in order for that to really work and resonate, it has to be followed up with understanding. So you communicate something or someone communicates something, you got to be willing to understand where they're coming from, and then, you know, essentially be able to, you know, relate to it one way or another and just
to
move on
understand
from
where you are coming from yourself. Because if we're discussing and then you trigger something in me and I get angry, why it's a trigger for me to be that angry. So that's why it's very important to take a step back too, to reflect on those angry moment that you have, like
absolutely
with the people saying like this, with jealousy, well, okay, so what did trigger my jealousy? There's a reason behind it. It's not necessarily the other person, it's they did something to me that made me react a certain way.
That's a great point.
Absolutely. And then that's you know, I guess sometimes I would say it comes with time and age, I guess. But you start to learn how to control those emotions to where you're able to communicate effectively, to where it's not going to be so belligerent. Because I ain't gonna lie, I was young and I was belligerent. You understand? I'm not belligerent today.
Maturation.
But you know, we all had our raise your hand if you have belligerent moments. Everyone. Right, raise your hand. You ain't never had no belligerent moment. Look how cute.
I don't know the word. I don't understand the word.
Oh, belligerent. That means you're outlandish. You're beside yourself. You're doing the absolute most. You can't even control what you're about to do, but you will. I'll run you over with this car. Belligerent. Stop it, Tia.
Holy smokes.
I had those moments, and I ain't trying to be that way, but you brought me there. I tried so hard not to, but you took me there. Now, because I've gained control of how that works, I don't have belligerent moments. I'm like, okay, good luck and Godspeed. I wish you well. Be well. Get out of my face. That's it. And when they start talking crazy, you know what I do? I check my bank account. I do.
I love that.
I'm trying to see if this argument is conducive to me, and if I'm getting any deposits. If I don't get a deposit, I'm gonna give you a stone face and I'll go away because it's not for me. I'm done here. Oh, I'm sorry.
I like that. I like that.
This one knows how I am. That's why she wanted to put me on this podcast. You know, I'm gonna shut up, y'all. Okay.
I like that. How long do you usually wait to see a deposit, you know, in your account before you walk away?
Sometimes, let me tell you what, 2 minutes, about
2 minutes, okay.
I'm like, sometimes it'll take a little moment. So I'm like, okay, wait.
That's a lie. It takes her like 5 seconds. We'll be talking.
Right.
She'll be like, hold
Bank
on.
account.
Let me think.
If I don't see pending, there's nothing more I have to say to you. We're done here.
It's a waste of time.
If something actually hits the next day, I'll come back and apologize. What were you saying?
No, I like that. I like that.
You said, okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay. No, I like this whole conversation.
Absolutely.
I like Debo, you said it. I think we completely kind of, you know, deviated in a way off the original topic, but I think everything we talked about ties into into how to, you know, better interact with each other as Black men and women. So, you know, and yeah, so I don't want to keep you ladies too long. I just want to thank you all for, you know, joining, sharing your thoughts, opinions. It's been very entertaining, and at the same time, I think I learned a lot
Informative as well.
and,
Yep.
and things to
Absolutely.
take away. Very informative. So again, thank you so much for your time. Hopefully, I don't know, maybe we can do this
We
another
must
time
do this again.
Yeah, okay. No, I'm down. I'm down.
This was the highlight of our Sunday. We were waiting for
We
this.
must do this again. I've never done anything like this, so I thought this was grand. Because
Oh, you're great at it. Natural.
You're natural. You're
You
natural.
should have your
You should
own.
have your, should have your own
You
show.
should have your own.
We should do.
Yeah,
I'm just too goofy. That's the thing.
we're both goofy, Tia. We are.
No wrong with that.
Your facial
Nice
expression
suit,
throughout this
Tebow.
podcast.
I like
That's
talking to you
really-
guys. You guys, you're receptive. I was receptive. I took all that in, and then what I learned is we learned things from each other. That was grand. Shut
And
up,
you know
Tia.
what?
I'm not talking like, don't listen.
I'll be honest.
I ain't say nothing.
Because I heard you in your mind. Shut up.
Let me check my bank account.
Absolutely. As you should.
As-
Everyone,
much
that's the
as
new
I-
thing. That's for
as
everyone.
much-
Check your bank accounts. Okay,
Check your
sorry.
bank, and if ain't nothing deposited, walk away.
We're done here.
We're done. But again, I think this is something I really want to do in the future. Just a bunch of Black men, women come together and just have a conversation, not a debate, not an argument, not pointing fingers and blaming each other, but just an understanding.
Mhm.
Just an understanding, and we walk away and we had a good chat. But definitely we should do this again. We'll sign off there. But ladies, oh sorry, we didn't get your name, sis.
Oh, my name's Veronica.
Veronica, thank you for
I don't know
joining
if
us,
you guys
Veronica.
think either, but I was talking
We
like
didn't
I know
even-
you all my life.
I'm Tebow.
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 I got my hand up like that, like I'm in class.
There is no such a word as I don't know use guys.
Angel,
that's
first of all,
Okay,
use guys.
That's an American thing, ain't it?
No,
He
use
said it's
guys,
American
that's a
thing.
Boston thing, really.
You
Use
guys.
Use guys.
Okay.
Okay, so
well,
that's
nice meeting
Tebow.
you, Frenchie. This is Tebow.
Yeah,
That
that
was
was French.
Tebow.
Who's the lady's Frenchie?
Frenchie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's cute. I like her.
I know.
Look at her. She's
Who's
like,
that?
"Ah."
Oh God, we're too much. Okay,
Okay.
where's Debo?
I'm here somewhere.
There
Tebow.
you are. I like you too. I like you too.
I love you.
Oh wait, hold on. Before we sign off, I want to get the ladies' opinion on this. Debo mentioned something earlier before y'all joined. He's thinking of
Okay.
dreading his hair.
Yes.
What do you think?
Thinking of
He's
what?
going through a midlife crisis right now. He's trying to look young again.
To
So
lock his
he-
hair? No.
Nah,
he's-
getting
Let me
dread.
tell you what. That's
No, he
the
wants to
most
dread
horrible.
it.
That's what he can do. All of my siblings and I all have locks. I have the shortest locks, and look how long they are. You understand?
okay.
All of my siblings, there is past their butts. But
Another
that's the most
question.
natural
Are
thing
you
can do.
offended by the word dreadlocks?
I mean, I heard what it meant. I'm not so much offended because, like I told you, I do not care what they think. That's our problem. We keep giving
I like that.
keep giving a damn about what they about. Oh, we supposed to be ending this because I'm gonna go again. We keep giving a damn about what they think.
Sorry.
And I don't give a damn. Because again,
damn.
I check my bank account. And if there's nothing there, we're done here.
But some people are offended by that word. They are.
That's it. That's
I'm
all.
offended about
I'm
your-
not
Quantifying.
offended. You won't
They're
call
called
mine
locks.
dreads, then you call mine locks. I'm not offended. Just don't call you. It's you dreads. I said I don't have those.
So my apologies for
That's it.
saying. I think I said. Do you think Debo should lock his hair?
Look.
He started from
Yeah,
scratch.
dread.
That's
Yeah,
his
he
thing.
started from scratch.
Oh,
But
yeah.
you give him the thumbs up or nah? Thumbs down, thumbs up.
Let me see.
Um,
Debo, put your face back on. Let me see if it's worthy.
You gotta talk, Debo.
I'm just
Did I do it? Did I do
I
it?
mean, try it. Try something. I mean, if you feel that way, if that's in your heart, because me, I'm the last one to lock. I do not. All my siblings have locks down to their behinds, and they have tattoos. I'm like the one. One of these kids are doing their own thing. One of these kids are not the same. Remember Sesame Street? I was that kid.
Nigga, you
So-
decided.
No, but I became the same. Look, see, that's what I
When
do.
you come from the same nut sack, you decide.
No, what I'm saying, she know the hell I'm saying. I was the one, I'm like, oh, she's and then I say, you know what, but I had my natural hair first.
Oh, y'all lucky
All right.
ain't doing this.
Debo, I'm
Get
gonna
out.
support you.
Fine, whatever.
Debo, I'm gonna support the locks.
But I would not
I
ever,
support you
I would
too.
not ever knock it. Absolutely. If that's
No,
how
I
you feel.
can't knock it. Grow
I
it
think
for
we need to
me
get
since I
everybody
can't
in
grow
that
my
house
hair,
on
yo.
camera at some point. That would be hilarious.
Hey.
Oh my.
All right, ladies. I guess we'll sign off there again. Thank you very much. Everybody, make sure you subscribe to Jerks in a Pod. Debo.
Absolutely.
Deuces.
Until next time, Frenchie.
All right.
Later.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, guys.
Good night.
Love it.
Thank you for having